allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Bob?
Would you please bow your heads? Dear Lord, we thank you for bringing us here tonight. We ask that you watch over the great city of Newman and give this council the wisdom and to do the right things for this great city. We also thank you for taking care of Carrie Candia, and she's back on the mend and she's here tonight. Thank you so much. And this we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bob. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis.
Present.
Graham.
Present.
Candia.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Martinez.
Present.
Mayor Caton.
Present. Thank you. There's no reportable action out of closed session this evening. So we'll go to item 5, declaration of conflicts of interest. Seeing none, we'll go to item 6, ceremonial matters. And A, we do have a badge pinning this evening of Officer Clinton Finucci. Chief?
Evening, Mayor, council members. It's my pleasure tonight to reintroduce to you Officer Clinton Finucci. He will be joining us full-time. He's actually already started with us full-time. But tonight will be his badge pinning for his full-time ceremony. Officer Finucci is a Delta College Academy graduate from 2012. Prior to that, he is a Iraqi war veteran. He served in the Army from 2006 to 2009. Officer Finucci has a 11-year-old son, Aiden, who couldn't be here tonight due to the distance of which Officer Finucci chose to live away from the fine city of Newman. We won't hold that against him, though.
We might.
We might, but later on. We can't right now. We will hold it on against him later. In 2013, Officer Finucci started with the city of Newman as a Level 2 reserve. He worked his way through FTO and became a Level 1 reserve, which was he became our paid contract reserve. And then in February 1st, he joined us full-time. So I'd ask you to step up here and we'll do the oath. Remember, you can't mess it up. Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Clint Finucci, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or without purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
And who's going to pin your badge on tonight?
Mom Elaine.
Elaine, would you come on up and... Congratulations.
Thanks.
Welcome to the family.
I'd just like to thank everybody, city manager, mayor, city council. I do live far away, but I spend a lot of time with you guys here in the city of Newman. So I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to come out here and work. I'll continue to do my best, and I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Welcome.
And as usual, we do have snacks
See,
and
Elaine's
drinks
been
for
hard at work.
after.
Give us about 20 minutes.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you, Chief. Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to item 7, items from the public. Any non-agenda items? If you wish to address the council, now is time to do it. Please step to the podium, state your name.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Amy Hussar. I'm the commander of the American Legion Post in Patterson, and it's really interesting we have an Iraqi veteran right here with us. Thank you for your service. I wanted to announce that our post is hosting a mobile medical clinic for veterans, current and former, that includes reservists, as well as surviving spouses and caregivers. We're going to be holding this on Thursday, March 5th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Hammond Senior Center in Patterson. If you're not familiar with this type of setup, this is where the VA brings out their staff and they provide medical examinations, consultations, and referrals. They also determine eligibility and help veterans enroll in their system. They also provide initial assistance with claims and review existing claims to see if they can be sped up. We also have some folks come out from the National Cemetery. This time around, we will have someone from the Consolidated Transportation Management Agency, it's a mouthful, to help with some of our unique transportation needs here on the west side, because as I discovered, you can't get to the Bay Area VA clinics using public transportation from either here or Patterson. We will have our veteran service organizations, and I'm also working on getting our college representatives out as well. So I wanted to invite the community of Newman. I figured there are approximately 555 veterans in this community and a few more out in the surrounding areas. So if you'd like more information, our phone number is 209-690-7222. We have a web page and a Facebook. I brought a number of flyers that I can give to whoever they need to go to for distribution, if you wouldn't mind posting them as well. So,
If you just leave them with our staff, and I'm sure City Hall will take care
you
of
guys,
it.
okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're
Thank
pleased
you.
to share this with our fellow veterans.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, we'll go to item 8, consent calendar. A is waive all readings of ordinances and resolutions except by title. B is approval of the warrants. C is approval of the minutes of the January 13, 2015 meeting. D is adopt resolution number 2015 next in number, a resolution authorizing the approval of the statement of investment policy for the city of Newman. Council direction?
Make a motion, we accept the consent calendar as is.
I second that motion.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Item 9 is a public hearing. A, second reading and adoption of ordinance 2015 next in number, amending Title 9, Police Regulations, Chapter 9.01.070, handbills, distribution of the Newman Municipal Code. Stephanie.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Before you is the second reading of the proposed handbill ordinance. This ordinance is a result of public concerns over the distribution of handbills in residential areas. The proposed amendments for the code include leaflet style and placement, prohibition from distribution of said leaflets to those with no soliciting signage and also those on the Do Not Disturb registry, as well as the consideration of excessive distribution as littering. These amendments have been developed in conjunction with the city attorney and case law. Therefore, staff recommends that the city council hold a public hearing, conduct the second reading, and approve ordinance number 2015 next in number, amending Title 9 of the Municipal Code. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments for Stephanie? Seeing none, I open the public hearing. Anybody wish to address the council regarding this issue? Seeing none, close public hearing. Bring it back to council for direction. Somebody?
I so move that we adopt resolution number 2015. Wait a second. I'm on the wrong line. I so move that we approve the second reading and adoption of ordinance 2015 next number, amending Title 9 Police Regulations, Chapter 9.01.070, handbills and distribution of the city Newman Municipal Code.
Second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Go to item 10. A is adopt resolution 2015 next in number, a resolution adopting the mid-year changes for fiscal year 2014-15. Luke?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. In the report before you tonight are 5 exhibits. The first 2 show the 6-month performance of our revenues and expenditures. The next 2 show requested changes to our budget for our revenues and expenditures. And the final one shows our projected ending fund balances inclusive of these requested budget changes. The resolution before you tonight is to approve the budget changes found in Exhibits C and D. After reviewing the performance of our revenue expenditures, the following are notable variations from the general fund budget found on Exhibits C and D. The first was property tax revenues. This year we budgeted $544,000 in total property tax receipts, which was a 3% increase over the prior year budget. At this mid-year review, we estimate total property tax revenues to be around $600,000. This increase in property tax revenues is mostly due to the increase in the property values. Sales tax revenue. This year we budgeted a decline in sales tax revenue over the prior year. Last year was $435,000, this year $400,000. At this mid-year review, we estimate sales tax revenues to be closer to $490,000. Our franchise fees, street maintenance fees, and refuse collecting revenues, the budget changes you see on Exhibit C are due to the reclassification of the franchise fees and street maintenance fees from the revenue that comes from the refuse collection. In addition to that, we're also seeing an overall increase in the revenues through our refuse billing. Building permit revenues. We're seeing an increase in building activity in our city, which is driving the increase in our building permit revenues. We're estimating a $35,000 increase over our budget. This year, for motor vehicle taxes, this year we're budgeting $560,000 in vehicle license fee monies. We actually expect to receive $644,000 in VLF monies, which is an increase of nearly $80,000 over last year's actual receipts. Overall, we're expecting a $366,000 increase in general fund revenues over our current budget amounts. With regard to our general fund expenditures, we are coming in around 5% below our budgeted figures as a whole. On Exhibit D, we only have a few minor changes. Two items to note are that the Government Auxiliary Contract Services increase in expenditures is due to an increase in legal defense costs, and the government building utilities for PG&E is due to increased costs from PG&E. We're actually reviewing this item with PG&E to find out if there's an error in the billing or if it's our usage has gone up for some reason or other. We started this budget year with a decline of $438,000 or a deficit to our general fund. After this review, we're looking at a deficit of only around $130,000, which is a great improvement over our starting point. We're actually hoping that by the end of the year, we'll actually be able to improve upon that as well. By the end of the year, the city is still looking at an estimated reserve of 64.7% or $2.69 million, which is healthy for our city. If you have any questions about the remainder of the budget changes or any other items, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Questions or comments for Lou?
On the gas and electric, how long until the water plant out at the water facility that is solar?
I think we're anticipating that's probably going to be complete next month.
Next month?
Yeah, the rain has really set us back, so.
Right.
And this last storm, it makes it to the equipment can't get in
So
there.
a couple months till we
Yeah,
start
I would say
recognizing-
probably 6 weeks to 8 weeks.
Great. Well, I just like to commend staff. I think you've done a great job, maintaining a healthy budget and reserve and spending wisely and making sure that we don't get ourselves into serious trouble. So it's a credit to you and your whole staff, Lou, and Michael for your leadership. So, even though there's a $130,000 decrease, I think maintaining a 64%, almost 65% reserve is outstanding.
Yeah, that's very good. There was a report that came out a few months back about from the CSMFO, which is the Finance Officers Association statewide. The average for most cities is 20 to 25% reserve.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty well.
We're doing well. It's a great job. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right. Thank you, Lou. We'll go to,
We need a motion to.
Oh, I'm
accept the
sorry.
budget changes.
I was so excited I forgot. Council direction.
I move to adopt resolution number 2015, a resolution adopting the mid-year changes for fiscal year 2014-2015.
I second that motion.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you again. Okay, now we'll go to item B. Establishment of community. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. At your January 13th meeting, we asked you to consider applications and asking for applications in forming a community committee that could help our aquatic center subcommittee. We did advertise twice in the newspaper and put it on our website. I'm happy to announce that we had 6 applications come in. Debbie, 7? And then just right after the deadline, one of our planning commissioners brought hers in, so we'd have 7 total applications. Unfortunately, a couple of the people couldn't make it tonight, but I know Mr. McDonald's here, Mr. Lopez is here, and Mr. McConnell's here as well, excuse me. So, it's a very good cross-section, I think, that's going to represent this community well and helping with the subcommittee to formulate a funding plan for our aquatic center and other recreational opportunities as we're going to explore the potential for a soccer complex as well as a baseball, softball complex and other facilities that, recreational opportunities that may be available. So we're hoping that the community committee will be out there talking to their neighbors, talking to their friends, fellow parishioners, to everybody out there so that they can bring some of these ideas forward and help craft something that the council can get behind. And then ultimately, something that we submit to the community to see if that's something they'll support in the election. So with that being said, we've kind of put together a little schedule. We'd like to probably meet every 2 weeks with this committee. At this time, staff would like to propose the second and fourth Monday of the month. That would be the day before the council meeting. We would meet here in the council chambers. That way, each community member would have a screen right in front of them so we can do PowerPoint presentations and pictures and the like. We would also open these meetings to the public. So even if you did not sign up for the community committee, we encourage people to attend these meetings and provide us your input and hear what's going on. And then ultimately craft a plan that we can submit to the council. We have some bare bones and backbone type stuff that we stole from the city of Petaluma, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's just how we're going to tailor it to fit Newman, and we hope that the communities are really going to help out with that. So again, we'd like to meet on the second and fourth Mondays at 6 p.m. And again, we would do that here in the council chambers. And if the council so desires, we will make sure and elects to go ahead and put everybody on the panel, which we would agree is to go ahead and put anybody who applied on there, or the ones that applied on there, put them on the community committee. We'll send out letters tomorrow letting them know that the next meeting would be on the 23rd, I believe. 23rd, yeah, the 23rd, being here at 6 p.m. And then the next night we can report out to the council. So again, I know we have a couple of our community member panels here. I also want to let the community know that we will have a Spanish interpreter on site. So for our Spanish-speaking members of the community, please attend, and we'll make sure that you're involved in the discussion, because we'll have someone here that will be able to interpret if they're more comfortable in Spanish as their primary language. So.
Great. Well, I thank Mr. McDonald for being here. Larry, it's good to see you again. It's been a while. Mr. Lopez, thank you, and Mr. McConnell, thank you. It's always great to get community involvement, and certainly I would agree to put all 7 people on there and put them to work, and let's see if we can make this thing happen. So thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we anticipate it's probably going to take about 5 meetings, about 2.5 months. We're under, and I bring that up because the important key is we'd like to get something to this council like early May to late May, because in June you have to make some decisions if this is going to go to a ballot measure, and that decision has to be made in early to mid-June, because there's other pieces that go along with that. As you know, from our urban growth boundary, there's going to be other pieces that go along with that. We will also be asking the community committee that, to stay with us through this whole process. If it ultimately ends up in a measure that's supported or submitted to the electorate, that they be involved in the education and the promotion of any measure that may come out of this community committee.
Very good. Any other comments?
Yeah, I had just one question. Do you think it'd be possible to get the West Side Index here during the meetings?
I'll reach out to Dean. I'll let them know that.
I think it'd be neat if
Sure.
they were here to be able to report back to the public, the general public, what's actually proceeding, what we're actually doing here at the meeting.
Yeah, I will be meeting with Mr. Harris on Thursday following this council meeting, and I'll apprise him of our meeting date and encourage him to also, if he could even do a small blurb in the newspaper, and just again continuing to invite the community to attend. We don't want to just limit it to the 7 people, and ultimately I think we'll rely on those 7 people for a final recommendation, but I'm sure that those 7 would like to hear from the whole community of what they think as well. So,
Great.
Very good. Excellent.
Anything else? Anybody? Thank you, Michael, and thank you for volunteering. It's great, and I think some good things will happen, and see how the community jumps in. So again, thanks so much. Okay, moving right along, go to item number 11, item from District 5 Supervisor Jim DeMartini.
Good evening, Mayor Caton, council members. I just have a few things tonight. It's been relatively quiet at the county this week, so we're just working on a few projects. The groundwater sustainable agencies are ones that we're actively working on. This is a new state law where we have to set up regions within the county to regulate and monitor groundwater. The west side has its own district. There's 4 in the county. One's the Oakdale Irrigation District area, Turlock Irrigation District, Modesto, and then the west side from the San Joaquin River over to the foothills. And that is monitoring the groundwater levels and trying to figure out how much has been taken out and how much is replenished. It also has to deal with storm drain water and then the wastewater too. Those wastewater and storm drain water used to be byproducts that had no value at all. Now they're gotten extremely valuable. Now they're irrigation districts that fight over it now. The spot price of water that I heard this week was the sale took place for $1,800 for an acre foot, which is like a new high around here. This is over in Fireball area. So anyway, we are working on that. We expect we'll have quite a bit done by the end of the year. And as I said, it was a state law, so this is something that we have to do. As far as the development of the air base, as I told you the last time, there is a group that's interested in using that over, that operates out of Castle Air Force Base. It's Sierra. They had one of their planes made an emergency landing on our air base there this last week. Had some type of malfunction there, and they were kind of circling around because we haven't given them permission to land yet, but they did have to make one emergency landing. So it probably is a good thing that air base was there. I talked to Keith Boggs about the infrastructure and what it was going to cost. As we're doing the environmental, we're trying to figure out what the storm drain and water and roads and utilities and all that. Anyway, his estimate was $28 million, which is a little bit more than we have to spend on it. So perhaps the city of Newman can make a donation to the air base.
Deep pockets. That's chump change.
The $28 million was a little bit more than I was expecting, but so this is going to be a slow project to get off the ground, but we are committed to it. And the last thing I have is just the West Side Healthcare Task Force meets again in Gustine on March 5th. We had a really good meeting the last time, so we're really making some progress now. And we have Merced County fully on board now, and so we're expect to do some good things here. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions for Jim, comments? Thank you so much, appreciate it. Go to item 12, items from city manager.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Just a couple items tonight. First, solid waste, we're still, cities have just finished a draft agreement that we have submitted to the county for their review, so we're hoping to hear back from them in the next 2 to 3 weeks and see if that's going to get any traction. I want to thank, Officer Finucci. He's the third officer we've had that's come out of our reserves to be full-time officers. So, Mr. Officer Finucci stuck with us for a long time and didn't jump over to another organization as his hiring went in. So, we're glad to have him. We hope to have him here for a number of years, and he's proven to be a good officer, and that's why we've been rewarding him with a full-time position. So, it's good that this reserve program is really working out for us. So hopefully we can find more officers like Officer Finucci, so we can continue to hire officers that are already trained with our Newman ways. So, and then just lastly, it still is basketball season. So if you want to catch a game, you can go to Hunt Elementary or Stimba High School on a Saturday morning and watch the Newman youth play basketball. So
Great. Any questions, comments for the city manager? All right, we'll go staff. Chief, anything else?
Touching on the basketball, I happen to know that at 8:30 this week, there'll be a good game at Hunt if you want to come watch it. Hear their coach is outstanding. I don't know, I'm just saying, we're undefeated, so come out and watch us. Spring sports are also starting at the high school, so get out and watch your Stimba Warriors play. Should be a good year for spring sports, hopefully, jumping down to the Southern League. Pet Finder and Facebook, go adopt pets from our shelter that we'll be working on shortly to revitalize and make it a better shelter, but we do have some pets there for adoption, so go on Pet Finder or Facebook and find you a little furry friend to take home with you. And our last thing would be our canine crab feed. Tickets are on sale now, so go to the police department or Chevron are selling them. The date is March 28th, so I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Question or comment for the chief? All right, thank you, sir. Stephanie?
I have nothing tonight, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Wow.
Any question?
Anything I can answer, I'll do my best.
All right. Lou, anything?
Just a couple things. The treasurer's report for January is in your inboxes. All our bank accounts are reconciled to the penny. And our web payment software is continuing to grow as far as the number of users that are using it. We're over 20% of our population, our residents, are now paying through that web payment software. It's a great tool for any of our residents that need to get on there and make a payment. It doesn't cost you anything in addition to just your regular utility bill. It's free to get on there and take a look at your account, and you can manage your water usage and everything from there. So
Great.
happy to answer any questions you have.
Questions, comments for Lou? All right. Council member comments. Nick, we'll start with you.
Just want to introduce my family that's here tonight. My wife, of course, had surgery about less than a month ago. My oldest daughter and her husband, Levi, who's a member of the 101st Airborne Division, was in Afghanistan last year and getting ready to PCS to Germany here in about 2 weeks.
All right. Great. Well, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, my other son-in-law's in Afghanistan now.
Well, hopefully they'll stay safe. Yeah. All right. Bob, anything?
Just congratulations to young men that have served in the service. You know, we appreciate that. It means a lot to us, believe me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Casey, anything?
Yeah, I have a couple things. Officer Fanucci, thank you for your service in Iraq, Afghanistan. Also you, Levi, I appreciate it. And thank you for serving our community. The 50 and over club's going to be moving back to the hall that's being remodeled.
The what club?
50 and over. And I was asked by a member, most of them are in the 70 age group, so they're more of the 70 and over, and they were looking for assistance to set up chairs and take them down because it gets used for other things when they move back to there. So I didn't know if there was some way to...
Are you a member?
No. Not yet. So that was brought to me, and I thought I would ask. I don't know if there's anything that can help them out once you guys move back to that, once they move back to that facility.
Let us check into it. I'll report back to you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great. Anything else? You good?
I'm good.
Okay. Alberta, anything?
I don't have anything tonight.
Okay. And I don't have anything except for a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second?
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.